to my channel. Welcome to Bookmas Day 6. In this video, we are going to wake up at 6 a.m. to read more. So if you have seen Bookmas Day 4, we only read 30-ish minutes and only read 18 pages. So that's why I've decided to wake up about an hour and a half earlier than I usually do, even 2 hours earlier, before my usual wake up time, to catch up on some reading. So before we start reading, I thought I would take you along with me to some of my, I guess, morning routines that I do. I already brushed my teeth, washed my face, did my bed, and so let's do my skincare. So I've already washed my face with the Round Lab cleanser. I got a smaller size of the cleanser back in Korea and I thought it did a great job, and so now we have a bigger size. After washing my face, I go in with toner. This is the Skin 1004 Madagascar Centella Toning Toner. I like it, but it's not something that makes me want to pick it up again. So I put it on my hands, rub it, and then pat it on my face. In the winter, I get pretty dry skin where I am. Here, it's very dry in the winters, so my skin gets dry as well. The next step I go in is a serum, and this is the Beauty of Joseon Glow Deep Serum Rice and Alpha Arbutin. This I also got from Korea, and this apparently makes you have glass skin. And so I just drip it on my cheeks and my forehead. So I am filming this at around 6:30, I think, right now, and usually it doesn't take me this long to get ready. And also I stayed in bed for an extra 5 minutes because I just couldn't wake up this morning. It was just too hard to get up, especially since I went to sleep, I guess, at 11. I think that's enough time to kind of wake up and enough hours to sleep, but just still very tired. And finally, it's a cream. I actually don't like heavy moisturizers. I should be using heavy moisturizers in the winter, but I am currently using Purito Oat in Calming Gel Cream. So I heard this was very good. I just recently purchased this a couple of days ago, I think, and it's great. So I do like a little dollop there, or maybe even a little bit more later, because it's so lightweight. And I think this would be a very good summertime cream because it's very gel-like and it just doesn't feel too heavy on the skin. But in the winter, I'm testing it out, actually. If it works in the winter, that's great, but I know this would work beautifully in the summer, so I would maybe repurchase this for a summer moisturizer. But for the winter, we'll see how it goes. I might just have to put on a thick layer so that it would feel more moisturizing. But overall, I really enjoy this moisturizer. So that is my skincare routine. Oh, I should put eye patches under. During the Black Friday sale, I got these pack of 24 eye patches by Grace and Stella. This is the energizing version. And so far, I have been loving putting these on in the morning, especially when I feel like I need to wake up, because it's very cooling under the eyes, especially because I put it in the fridge. It's very cooling under the eyes, and after I take them off, I feel like my under eyes are still tingling. I don't know if that's just a placebo effect, but that's how I feel. But really enjoy it. They say to put the smoother side, I think it's this side, on your skin. This side is more of the bumpier side, apparently. But I don't feel like it's bumpy. And in terms of how you put your eye patches, apparently it does not matter. It just depends on where you want to concentrate on your face or eyes. Well, my brain's not really working this morning. Finished! Oh my gosh, my voice. I'm starting the reading a bit later than I expected. I think I'm just starting with the filming and putting on my skincare slowly, I usually just rush it and then go. But I like this kind of slow morning routine. Let's go make my drink of choice. I'm thinking of a matcha, maybe a warm matcha this morning because it's kind of cold in here. Hungry right now, so maybe I'll make a small oatmeal bowl, I guess, to start the day before I actually have my caffeine. So let's make that. I can't believe it's already 6:45 when I got out of bed at 6:05. I think I just took my time in the morning way too long, and also me setting up this mic, I don't know why that took so long too, so I don't know what happened. Anyway, that's okay. Maybe this might turn into a morning routine instead. So we'll see how it goes. For my toppings, I am thinking of going in with a banana and some dates. I love these dates. I usually don't eat dates, but these ones are so good. My best friend showed me a way to kind of make a sweet breakfast. So we can fry up a banana and some dates in some coconut oil. So good. So let's make that this morning with my oatmeal. I love my water super hot, but not too hot that I can't drink it. So love that. So here is the breakfast. I have way too much toppings for so little oatmeal, but that's okay. Just wanted to have something sweet in the morning. And let's see what's our book of choice while we're gonna be reading. To no surprise, it's Sunrise on the Reaping. So let's start reading. It is a little past 7, so it's time to start reading. It's time to make our matcha. I'm getting a bit warm right now, so I think I'm gonna be making an iced matcha latte. I've already read for a little over 20 minutes, so I didn't get to go too far into the story. We are at the part where each of the districts give an interview, and right now it's District 12. I don't have a cup that is big enough to hold my iced matcha lattes. They're usually just coffee cups or a mug. So I need to get a taller, I guess, cup for my iced matchas, but for the time being, this is good enough. And I have already pre-soaked my matcha whisk in hot water. We have our matcha bowl and our matcha of choice. I ran out of the Hanami matcha that I always purchase, but for the time being, I got this during the Black Friday sale too, and so far it's pretty good. I like it. We also need a strainer, and I don't have like the bamboo spoon matcha spoon, so we're using a metal spoon for that. I don't know if it makes a difference. And look how vibrant this is. Ooh, oh. using warm water to whisk my matcha. And we are doing it in a zigzag motion. I used to cold whisk with milk, but now I'm feeling more hot water whisking than I do cold whisking with milk. I can already smell the matcha right now. So I don't know if I can show you the matcha. Oh, I need to whisk here better. So this is the matcha we are working with. Don't know if you can see it, but this is the matcha we're working with. Maybe we can see it when we're pouring it. This is going to be our sweetener of choice. Now, this is super easy to make. It's a 1-to-1 ratio of water and brown sugar, and you could put vanilla extract. In this batch, I used the Trader Joe's bourbon vanilla bean paste, and it's really good. I'm curious to try this when I'm baking. That is what's in this brown sugar syrup. Super easy to make, and a great choice for a sweetener. My matcha latte. It's looking nice and green. So cheers. Yes, I think I put a little too much milk, but very good. So let's get to reading. Okay, I am on chapter 13 of Sunrise on the Reaping, and near the end of this chapter, so Plutarch, I don't even know if I'm saying his name properly, but Plutarch is like, technically we know who he is, and so my eyes in the last paragraph, he's talking to someone on the phone, and then we all assume it's President Snow, but my eyes, I don't know why, but I had to know. My eyes just went to the bottom to see who it is, so I skipped that whole paragraph and found out who it was. Does anyone do this too, where you're reading and then because it's leading up to a big reveal near the end, your eyes just skip and go there? So I think I need to cover the book, like cover that paragraph and go line by line so I don't spoil it for myself, because I had no idea who it could have been, but I knew it wasn't President Snow. So if you know what I'm talking about, that's what I'm talking about. Why am I shocked? Because we already know he's a good guy. So anyway. All right, it is 8:20 a.m. So we have 40 minutes before work, but I wanted to drop in to chat about how I felt about this waking up at 6 a.m. today to read more. I want to try the waking up at 6 a.m. or even 5 a.m. for a week and see how I feel, because waking up for one day, you don't really feel the effect. So I do want to try doing it for a week or maybe 5 days. So not only do I get to read more, I can do whatever I want before work starts. So I do want to try doing that for a week in the new year or sometime in 2026. Do I think waking up at 6 a.m. is worth it? To read more, of course. Yes, because I have already read 25 pages. I started off on page 175 and now I am on page 200. I think it's worth it for at least a day because even though I do feel a bit sleepy, I think it's just one day, so it's okay. But I wonder how it would feel like if I were to do it for a week. Will I still be able to wake up? And this is for 6 a.m. I want to try 5 a.m. I feel like I can do a lot more with the 5 a.m., but that would mean I would have to shift my sleeping schedule. So we'll see how that goes. But for waking up at 6 a.m., I think it's definitely worth it. I read 25 pages and that is more than what I have read in my video on how much I realistically read in a day. And I chose the most busiest day. I don't know why I did that. On that day, I only read 18 pages and that was for the whole day. This is before 9 a.m. and I have already read 25 pages. And I feel like once you get into the groove of reading, you would start being invested in the story and wanting to read more, especially with Sunrise on the Reaping. It's so good. I have not gone into the games yet. We are leading up to the games right now. So I feel like I'm going to speed through it once we get into the games and after the games. I'm very curious about after the games. How did he become who he is in the Hunger Games trilogy? Currently, we know that he doesn't drink. Well, he's really young, so I mean, he doesn't drink, but we know he doesn't drink. We do know he makes white liquor, so, but then how did he become the consumer of it? So I'm very curious about that. So how did this Hunger Games shape him to how he is in the trilogy? So very curious about that. I mean, I have some ideas, so I have a feeling based on the little sprinkle of Haymitch's past in the Hunger Games trilogy, we could guess how he became who he is. I have some thoughts and I will confirm on camera whether those thoughts were true. So that is all for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed seeing my very slow 6 a.m. mornings and also whether it was worth it to wake up this early to read more. Let me know what is your current read, and until Bookmas Day 7, I will see you then. Bye!